for a second. Look at your neighbor and check him. We bout to march, so if you not get to stepping, I done told you who I am. Just be mad because my voice is so decadent. I'm setting the precedent, no mistakes and no accident. We ignoring the standard set cause our lowest is passionate. This alone is a classic hit. I'm a verb amongst adjectives at the industry full of and my words is a laxative. I'm a maniac on these beats, I'm insane and it's not discreet. I'm enraged because y'all ain't see it. I'm spraying on every sheet, entertaining, no whack opinion. Who's saying we not elite? I'm over Balenciagas, I'm changing into my cleats. It's go time, it's show time. I ain't calming down until this place is a ghost town. Tired of the faking, we bringing back Motown. No staring, this go round. I'm taking no prisoners, so prepare for a showdown. Down in the new town, I already feel that it's eyes on me. I'm getting looked up, down with the big crown. They already gone by the size of me. I don't really give a fuck, put my deuce up. I will not live in apology. I wish you lose the opportunity yourself. Don't make ways for a prodigy. Just down in the new town, I already feel that it's eyes on me. I'm getting looked up, down with the big crowds. They already gone by the size of me. I don't really give a fuck, put my deuce up. I will not live in apology. I wish you lose the opportunity yourself. Don't make ways for a prodigy.
Today, from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports. And the Las Vegas Raiders taking on Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos.
Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, it's January 7th, but we haven't seen you since New Year's Eve, so we have to say Happy New Year, one and all. And partner, Happy New Year to you. This is it, the conclusion of the 2023 season. Hard to believe, but we got a good one here between division rivals. And you like what the NFL's done here, making Week 18 all-division games.
I think it's one of the more inspired moves by the league because they've made these matchups really count. And typically they mean something, not a lot of coasting as people head towards the playoffs. But I do have to ask, January 7th, is it too late to say it? We're kind of right on the borderline, aren't we, about Happy New Year? Because that always seems to be the subject of debate.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On play action. Now Garoppolo. And his throw is incomplete. Jacoby Myers, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. But you look at this Bronco defense. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. For a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. Bringing them out is the 12th-year pro seeking a return to Pro Bowl form, Russell Wilson.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week, so keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Buying time to his left. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. On the move to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Russell Wilson, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos are on the board first here in Vegas. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
So out come the Raiders. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Fights through him. And he goes out right around the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Garoppolo now. And the Broncos get there and take him down. DJ Jones collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3. Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Garoppolo. That's to the Notre Dame man, Michael Mayer. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Down to about the 45. This defense for the Broncos, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. But you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Play action, Garoppolo. And that's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. It got his man complete. A huge play there for Denver. 47 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. High throw, but the catch is made. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
Steps away. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Russell Wilson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Broncos take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 21-0. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Garoppolo. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Randy Gregory, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Now back to throw. Over the middle, he's got Mayer. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
This 2nd and 4. Throwing is Wilson. Forced out to his left. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback, and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Russell Wilson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos are able to add on to their first-half lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, it told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. It gets it right back to Mayer. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Frank Clark, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got Hooper on the short connection. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 18. Oh, some strong running. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A huge play there for Denver. 47 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now it's Wilson. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Jerry Tillery running in there and setting him down. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcer-less games, and they want that. This could be a candidate for it, because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the second half.
There's still another half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing now is Garoppolo. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the deep...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. I mean, 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And this is taken in at the 5. 36 yards on the play.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
Now Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And the touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback...
Now Garoppolo lost the football, but I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Garoppolo.
Quickly, a slant to Renfro.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down.
Running the slant, that's Hooper.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here's Garoppolo to throw.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Garoppolo again. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates.
Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get.
It's caught at the 10. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now.
And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Marr on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half.
Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Kareem Jackson, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this 2nd quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
They'll start the drive with a give to White. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 2nd down and 6 now. To throw is Garoppolo. He's got Hooper on the short connection, and he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. That one a first down pickup of 8. Garoppolo looks to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Garoppolo. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And it's the Bucs who are out in front at halftime. Mike Evans, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, let's head up to Cincinnati, Ohio to check in on the Bengals at home at Paycor Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Joe Burrow with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. Noah Brown over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. In the first half, we saw a strong performance out of the veteran quarterback, Russell Wilson. And he did it with his legs, accounting for 3 first-half touchdowns on the ground. Sensational.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Montrell Washington on the return from his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's able to get this all the way to the 40 before going out of bounds.
That's a tremendous start to the 3rd quarter. These guys had their foot on the gas the entire first half. They continue to keep the accelerator down.
And the Broncos offense set to begin this 3rd quarter. Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson being chased out left. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Broncos are pouring it on. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Marr now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. On first down, Garoppolo. And it's complete to Adams. And they'll get to him right away at the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. They're going to look to throw. Short pass to Howard. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it, turn upfield, and pick up the first down.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. White, he'll try the left side. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos. At the 34. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Steps away to his left. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Judy, 66 yards. And the Broncos extend their lead yet again. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. He's got Hooper on the short connection. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken in at the 22. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson rolling to his left. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy with career touchdown number 109. That ties him with Barry Sanders on the all-time NFL list. And the Broncos get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Working from the gun, Garoppolo.
He'll get that out to the flat to White.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas 1st down. They run straight ahead here with White. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw here. Short pass to Howard. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. He'll look to throw. Caught outright by Renfro. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
They'll try and run for it with Brown. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So after the 4th down conversion, now 1st and 10 inside the 25. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Garoppolo now. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Howard. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays down.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. The kick by Carlson is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but it's caught inside the 25. Touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, 70 yards. And the Broncos will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. All the talk when Russell Wilson came into the league about his height, those big defensive linemen, can he get the ball over him? Well, you get him outside the pocket like that, doesn't really matter. No, it really doesn't, and you're exactly right. Many people dinged him for that and said, how's he going to see over NFL linemen? He never did, right? At whatever level, he saw through them and found pockets and windows to throw the football. But as you noted, when he's outside the pocket and his vision is totally clear, oh, look out, because he's going to find someone downfield, as we just saw there. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles. I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt. Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal. I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a give, left side, Brown with it. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop. Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today.
This is brought in at the 21. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Wilson now off the bootleg. This will be caught. Judy. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down.
Right back to Judy, and it's complete.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a 1st down. Here's Wilson to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Wilson. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Here's Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the made field goal, Marr back out there to kick it away. And he'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. And just shutting him off there. And still fighting. A great return there. Bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Going to look at Jerry Jeudy as he leads his offense back out there for this next series.
He's been almost impossible to bottle up. You see that number 10 on your screen, a big reason why they have the lead.
One of the guys that's being featured in this game and making sure that he's targeted because they do trust him with the ball. That's why they go back to him time and time again.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Out to his left. And they'll work
mark it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. Now it's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The Charles are still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Garoppolo. Open man right side, Myers. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. It's taken to the 26. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And Denver getting set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
This is caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders now set to get the football back. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
It's complete to Brown, right side. No gain on the screen there, and second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw pulled in by Renfro. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for third down.
Playing pass all the way.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll be second in a couple. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 21. Running right, here's Brown. Alex Singleton, the linebacker, there on the tackle. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. That's going to be caught. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point by Carlson, up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away, is Carlson. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. It's a foot race. And they are going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out?
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. That's good for 28 yards. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Marr on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. One play, two plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Raiders heading out to take over. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And incomplete here. So that will leave them with 16 on the clock. There's Garoppolo to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead. And it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now...
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Denver, they finish off a perfect regular season, 17-0. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll limp to the finish line a bit with a final record of 5-12. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.